All right, what's up? Welcome to A Bettor Morning, presented by Rival Fantasy. It's your host, Corey Parson, the fantasy executive. Um, really not too much to do today to get into. Really just gonna talk about last night's game, go over this weekend's matchup, get you some winners, tell you about fantasy alarm, tell you about Rival Fantasy, and then the show's over. So let's go ahead and get started. Broncos and Chiefs, right? Broncos and Chiefs last night. Chiefs win the game 19-8. Kansas City closed. This one is so interesting, right? Because this one closed with Kansas City as a 10.5 point favorite. Some of you may have got them in 11. If you got the 11 pushed. If you got the 11 pushed. If you got the 10.5, the late field goal was able to get you to cash that ticket and cover. The under 47 cashes easily. That number was way too high. Really, outside of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, in the prop market, everything went under. Kelce was great yesterday with his girlfriend in attendance. He had 9 catches for 124 yards. No touchdown, caught all 9 of his targets. Mahomes was 30 of 40, 306, touchdown and interception. Mahomes also went back to running this week, 6 carries for 31 yards. But other than that, everybody else was kind of a dud. Rashee Rice showed up. He had 4 catches for 72 yards. Isaiah Pacheco was a workhorse in the offense. But for the most part, Kansas City got it done easily with guys like Mahomes and Travis Kelce dominating. The Denver Broncos side is pathetic. Russell Wilson, 13 of 22, 95 passing yards, 4.3 yards an attempt, a touchdown to interception, sacked 4 times. Javonte Williams did carry the ball 10 times for 52 yards. Russell had 4 carries for 31. Cortland Sutton had a touchdown catch. Jerry Jeudy had 3 catches for 14 yards. Another pathetic performance by the Denver Broncos. You know, before the game and during the game and really after the game, there was a lot of talk about this dust-up between Steve Smith Sr. and Jerry Jeudy. You know, Jeudy in the pregame, Smith was kind of like first-round draft pick guy. Go out there and make a play and do something. Basically sums it up. But he said, you know, Steve Smith Sr. or whatever his name is, he kind of got like an edge to him, right? So he played with an edge. He broadcast with an edge like he's this ultimate tough guy. He's a 44-year-old man who any one of them cats in that locker room will easily take the town. With that being said, you know, I think we see it in the inside the NBA crew. When they criticize today's players, the players take it personal. They take it serious. Like, I think it's really when you're a player and you're in the media, it's the job to give advice, give your thoughts, give critiques, give criticisms. I think the inside the NBA crew does a good job. But recently, some of these football players have gone over the top. And I think Smith was a little bit over the top in his analysis. And then some of the Dak Prescott analysis has been kind of harsh too. And I know you're going to say, Corey, you got to be serious. Nobody's been harsher on Dak Prescott than you. Yeah, but I never played professional football. I'm doing this, you know, in this broadcast space right here in a fantasy sports betting sense. I'm not on the sideline for Amazon talking about a player. That right there is kind of lowbrow to me. That's kind of like, I wouldn't go to that point. Here, I can say Dak Prescott sucks. I'm sitting in my room, whatever. I'm an entertainer, broadcaster, never played the game. But when you played the game and you're on one of those big main television broadcasts like that, have a little decorum, have a little respect. I think the inside the NBA crew does it well. I think Steve Smith was over the top. That whoever that really was a no-name guy that said that Dak was trash in the postgame the other day. I think it was a local Bay Area broadcast. To me, that's a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you're like Shannon or Stephen A. or Shady on a studio show, but to be there on the field as a former player in that environment, I don't think it's a good look. Right? Why are you taking that type of talk to the more professional setting? I don't think it's going to work out for those guys in the long run. That's something you see in studio shows, not on sidelines or thing like that. That right there, when you get to that level, just try to stick to the facts and leave the personal shots out of it. Has Judy been a disappointment? Does Dak suck? Yes. There's some truth to both of that. But I think decorum in those spots is more warranted. So that's something to be on the lookout for. This Jerry Judy Steve Smith story, it's not just going to end with what happened last night. I think it's going to continue to be a problem, not continue to be a problem, but it's going to be a talk topic coming up over the course, really probably the rest of the season. These dudes taking it a little bit too far. I just wanted to get on my soapbox on that right quick, but that was it. But other than that, Chiefs, Broncos, I feel sorry for Al Michael and Kurt Herbstreit. They got a terrible game to start the week, but the week should actually get better. And it starts in international series again this week. I think we're back at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt like they did last week. But you got Baltimore Ravens and Tennessee Titans in this one. Looking at the splits from DraftKings, the money is pretty even going in both directions. I probably wouldn't bet this game against the spread. I think Baltimore finds a way to get a victory. Moneyline parlay is the way to go with this one right here. You got Carolina and the Dolphins. Dolphins laying 13.5. Really, it would have to be a backdoor cover for Carolina to cover. I really think the Dolphins can really just come out there and roll over them. And then Carolina hasn't really showed you anything to make you think that they're going to put up a fight and make this interesting game against the Miami Dolphins. They haven't. You just got to tell the truth about it. One of the things you can do, though, is play Adam Thielen in fantasy because he may have 42 targets because they just sit back, drop back, and pass, and pepper Thielen with targets. So Bryce Young has got on to something where he likes, he trusts, he's comfortable throwing the ball to Adam Thielen. But other than that, I'm not interested in anything in this game. But obviously, Tyreek Hill, either number 1 or number 2 fantasy player on the week if you're going in for weekly rankings or DFS stuff. The Seahawks and the Bengals, interesting one right here. According to DraftKings Sportsbook, Cincinnati taking 63% of the money, 63% of the tickets, but only 50% of the money. The Seahawks taking 30% of the tickets, but 50% of the money. Sharper, more respected money on the Seahawks. I already told you how I feel about this one right here. I love Pete Carroll in this spot. Take the 3 with the Bengals. It's going to be 2.5 by kickoff. Take the 2.5 and scream with the Seahawks, and also sprinkle the money line on that underdog. Like that road dog this week. San Francisco is in Cleveland as a 7-point favorite. You know, we got to genuflect at the altar of the San Francisco 49ers. Start getting the parade route ready in the Bay Area. It really doesn't make any sense for them to play the games anymore because we're all only going to win the Super Bowl. So you might as well just stop the season and award the trophy to the San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, they play the Cleveland Browns this week. Deshaun Watson is on the injury report again and is likely not going to play again this week. I know it's sacrilegious to tell the truth about certain quarterbacks. I know you're not supposed to, say the things that your eyes are seeing. But this Deshaun Watson situation in Cleveland is a disaster. Here's a guy with all of this guaranteed money who was on the Hall of Fame track. Now he stinks. He doesn't play all of a sudden. And I just found this out yesterday. He doesn't have media availability. Deshaun Watson does not talk to the media. Here's a pro football quarterback with a $240-something million guaranteed contract or $30-something million guaranteed contract who sits out seemingly when he wants to and doesn't talk to the media. What the hell is going on with Deshaun Watson? This is going to go down as one of the worst signings in NFL history. Here it is. Cleveland thinks they're a contender. They get a true contender, the champs basically, and the 49ers to come into their building, and their quarterback is like, I'm not going to play, I got a shoulder injury. Okay, so let's ask him some questions. He doesn't talk to the media. Deshaun Watson's a fraud, y'all. You heard it here first. Nobody else will tell you that. Everybody else is going to cap for him. Everybody else is going to protect him. He's a fraud. That's what he's become now. He's Ben Simmons. Okay? There you go. Up next, Saints, Texans. Saints are 1-point favorite in this game right here. I don't know why. Big Alvin Kamara spot. Taking this one to the window, probably not. Total 42. I would take the under on that one. I don't think there's a lot of scoring in this game. Colts and Jaguars. A little bit of sharp action coming in on Indianapolis Colts. I think people like Gardner Minshew. Minshew has showed that he's a decent backup. He can run the offense. Jacksonville, money line. Probably parlay it with the Baltimore Ravens. Vikings, Bears. Could care less. Vikings a 2.5-point favorite over the Chicago Bears. Want to see if Fields can keep the good times rolling. No Justin Jefferson. I think Jordan Addison popped up on the injury report yesterday too. So they could be down to KJ Osborne and TJ Hawkinson. If Addison is out, then Hawkinson is one of their top DFS targets of the week. Because who else are they going to throw the ball to? KJ Osborne? We all know they ain't going to run the ball. They don't like to do that. Patriots and Raiders. Oh, excuse me, I skipped the game. Commanders and Falcons. I already told you I like the Commanders in this spot right here. I think the Commanders are trending to be a better road team than a home team this year. Really see good two-way action on DraftKings at this one. 51% of the tickets on the Falcons, 49% on the Commanders. The fact that this 2.5 hasn't gone to 3 would lead me to believe there's some respected money coming in on the Commanders. I will be on the side of the Commanders in this game right here. It's going to be a close one down to the wire, just like last week. But this time, I think the visitor comes into Mercedes-Benz Stadium and gets it done. What else we got today? New England Patriots, Las Vegas Raiders, the McDaniels-Belichick Bowl, rematch of last year's disastrous finishing for the Patriots. It's tough not to think that New England is going to go out there and drop a dud. I think the Patriots fight back. I'll take the Patriots with the points on this one right here. I wouldn't take that to the window because I'm not losing no more money on the Patriots this season. Can't successfully raise and take care of kids if I keep throwing money away on Ramondre Stevenson and Juju Smith-Schuster. Not going to be able to do it. What else do we have? New England. Okay, we got to that one already. Philadelphia Eagles, New York Jets. I told you I think Jalen Hurts is now the best quarterback in the NFL. Really done a 360 on this young man. He is fantastic. I think the Jets are live in this, to be honest. I think Philadelphia finds a way to win the game, but I think the Jets are actually live in this one right here. I would add Philadelphia to that money line parlay with the Jags and the Ravens. Lions and Buccaneers. This is a heavy Detroit Lions spot. I see Sam Laporta popped up on the injury report yesterday. But St. Brown is practicing. No Jahmyr Gibbs, though. Tampa, you got your man Mike Evans on the injury report. I think Chris Godwin practiced on the injury report as well. Want to double check that one. Lions probably go out there and get a win. I wouldn't touch this spot right here, though. Lions have been solid on the road this year. That's normally have been their Achilles heel. But I think they go out there. They should get an easy victory. Arizona and Los Angeles, NFC West opponents. Nothing spectacular here in this one. Cooper Kupp saw that big workload last week. Lets you know that he's truly back. I think you could still get some usage out of Puka, though. With the Cardinals, they're kind of banged up coming into this spot right here. Josh Dobbs done a decent job so far this season. 7 seems like a lot of points between division rivals, especially as well as the Cardinals been playing and covering spreads this year. So that 7 is probably something with the Rams that I probably won't get behind, but it's probably a no play for me in this one anyway. The total in this one is 48 and a half. I can see this going over that total. This should be a higher scoring back and forth game, even if it's mainly the Rams getting it done. The Bills and the Giants on Sunday night. Why do we get this dud on Sunday night? I guess people thought the Giants was going to be good again this year. Maybe this is the Brian Daboll Bowl. Like, what made the schedule make us think, oh, this is perfect, Bills and Giants? Like, I didn't want to see that. Nobody wanted to see Bills and Giants before the season started. You know what I'm saying? In that spot. You were better putting Commanders and Falcons in that spot. I'd rather see that. I'd rather see Colts and Jaguars in that spot. I'd rather saw Niners and Browns, but again, never know, because you never know what Deshaun Watson going to do. I'd rather saw Seahawks and Bengals in that spot. I don't know. But Bills and Giants leaves nothing to be desired. Daniel Jones didn't practice. He's looking pretty shaky for this week. Listen, this could be a game like you saw last night where the Bills get enough of a lead to be like, you know what, we're not going to blow these dudes out no more. The Giants' defense has played well so far this season, so give them a shout out for that. They've been a unit that's gone out there and tried, despite, what's going on as far as their offense. The defense has gone out there, tried hard, competed, tried to get it done. So shout out to the Giants' defense. Maybe they do something to keep it close. But the Bills at home in a primetime spot, probably just roll them out of there and get on with the business. Be careful. We always see weird things happen. Like last night, a backdoor cover was almost in play. Maybe a backdoor cover is in play for the New York Giants in this spot right here. So, but there's nothing that I would do with this game right here. I might look at some Buffalo Bills props. Other than that, the Giants have resulted back to being who exactly we thought they were. The weekend's Dallas Cowboys and Chargers Monday Night Football actually should be a pretty decent game. I think this is a nice bounce back spot for Dallas right here. As a matter of fact, this line has moved from 2 to 2.5. Dallas went in the Los Angeles and won, if I'm not mistaken, each of the last 2 seasons. So it's not something they're used to. Obviously, Kellen Moore being the man right now for the for the Chargers as far as their offensive coordinator adds a little intrigue to it. He's going to want to go out there and have a good game plan and have his offense score a whole bunch of Dallas points against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler back in the mix should be going crazy. Yeah, but I think it's a good bounce back spot for Dallas and Dan Quinn's defense. Obviously, home field advantage would go to the Cowboys. They haven't traveled well this year with the 2 losses coming on the road. I think this is a big bounce back, get back spot for Dallas right here. The line is starting to move in that direction as well. So I would go that way right there with the Dallas Cowboys. I actually would make it an official play. Let a number on that one right there. As far as survivor people this week, interesting. I think you can look at Philadelphia, even though they're on, despite them being on the road. I think you can also look at Jacksonville. That's really it. If Miami is a team I would consider using in Survivor. San Fran, if you haven't used them already, I would consider using Jacksonville. I would consider using Jacksonville. It's going to be a close call. I'm going to tell you that right now because the Colts are going to play their butts off. That's going to be a tight one. I would stay away from Vikings, Bears. I would stay away from Falcons, Commanders. I would stay away from Raiders and Patriots. Eagles, if you haven't used them, I think it could be a little bit touch and go, but survive and advance is the name of the game. If you haven't lose the Lions, it could be touch and go, but survive and advance. And I think the Rams could be touch and go, but survive and advance. Buffalo Bills is the easy one if you haven't used them. And the Dallas Cowboys, a little bit tricky. That could be touch and go, but survive and advance is the name of the story. So let's continue to survive and advance. I wish everybody a better morning and a better weekend. It's Corey Parson.